Well, it looks like the days of Mad Max may be upon us soon. So let me put it to you this way. I'm going to tell you something about something I put out a while ago about the Fatima predictions, the sightings or apparitions of Mary at Fatima, Portugal, back in 1917. They happened, well, the main one, the last one, was October 13th, 1917. And she made some predictions there about World War II and a lot of different things. It's on a separate video. I'm not going to go over rehash the whole thing, but we're going to be coming up on the anniversary of that, October 13th, 2017, the 100-year anniversary. Now, I don't remember the name of the priest, but this priest said that after October 2015, which is right after October 2015, we're going to start seeing the beginnings of World War III. I don't know how to, I mean, there's always people saying stuff like that all over the place, but let me say, I find it very interesting, this latest downing of the Russian plane. That was no accident, obviously. You have to be born yesterday to think that was an accident. And what was the motivation behind it? Probably NATO told them to do it. Maybe it was in response to, Russia testing NATO airspace in the UK, Alaska, and Scandinavia and all that. But I don't know exactly what the reason and rationale would be. But I can tell you one thing, that Russian plane was not down by accident. And Russia's taking it pretty hard, I mean, they should be, too, right? So anyway, I'm going to tell you, though, I'm going to try to give you the situation that's coming up. First off, we got the thing where it looks like the United States is deliberately being crushed, put down. I'll give you another thing about that besides other evidence. I forgot the representative that was of Obama, but it was talking about how they're trying to, how they try to punish or fine nations for putting out too much CO2 gases. And they rationalized here in the United States by Obama representatives that China and India are still growing nations, so they should be, given a break on getting any kind of fines against restricting their industrial output because they have to clean up their environmental pollution. But in the United States, they're putting the brakes on the industry left and right, especially the coal industry, as you can see what's going on in West Virginia. So I can tell you that actually there is a plan to actually push the United States down and bring the other nations up. It's become pretty obvious over the last 20 years what's going on. Now, as far as the dollar and the gold index and all that type of stuff, the dollar is at an index of 100. The gold is getting down near to a 6-year low. Russia's looking to double its reserves, which is telling me something right there that's, why are they looking to double their reserves, right? Are they stupid? No, I don't think they're stupid. When something is at a high, that's not when you invest in it. The dollar's at a high, but it's actually in a long-term 30-year downtrend, even though it will move back up again. And it moved back up again recently over the last few weeks because, I guess, of fear in the markets, partly. But I want to also point to another chart here. It actually comes from the, I think it was the U.S. Labor Department or U.S. Bureau of Census. This is going from 2001. There's been a long-term downward trend in retail sales in the United States. And you can see in the middle here, this, this orange break right here in the middle. That was the 2008-2009 slump where it really went down. But we didn't go up in retail sales since then. We've actually went down. So actually every Black Friday that we have, and at Christmas time, it's been going down more and more since, even the 2008-2009 recession or reset or whatever you want to call that. It's been going down even since then. Now, where's the bright spots? The bright spots are actually not in the consumer economy, and they're not in the industrial economy either, because the industry, you're looking at the Baltic Dry Index. The Baltic Dry Index is the lowest it's ever been since they've been keeping statistics. The Baltic Dry Index is actually the shipment of goods throughout the world, commodities and goods being shipped on high seas every day. It's the lowest it's ever been, which means there's a lot less economic activity going on throughout the world. And also evidenced by China laying off a lot of people in the utility departments. So that's telling you that their industrial output must be going down, even though they're claiming 7% growth. And you've seen what happened in China in the real estate market over the last few years. So it's down everywhere. But what's going to bring up commodities? What's going to bring up commodities actually war. That's what I've always been saying. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it looks like, it's not just going to be something in the Middle East. It looks like it's going to be more tensions with Russia. What's going on right now with ISIS in Syria and all that, and with Russia being there, and Russia's like talking about slamming the hell out of ISIS, to hell with them now, because it's the jet was in Turkey. They're basically, they put them on notice, and also they even made a statement that, in Russia, they're totally acknowledging the Armenian genocide of Christians. Actually, that was part of Russia, where the Armenians were killed off by the Turkish Ottoman Turks at the end of World War I in a genocide. But, in the meantime, in the United States, most people don't really care. I mean, they're just in their own little world. For the majority, most people are into computer games, entertainment, and things like that. I'm not putting out doom and gloom here, but I'm going to tell you actually the essentials: food, firepower, and fuel. And silver coins are going to be important, but it's not going to be the only thing you have that you need to have. You notice I'm actually going to tell you too, if Hillary Clinton gets in power, which I'm seeing how this is kind of being set up. I put a video on about video out about Insider Trump, and that he's hinting at third party again. And I says, well, at first when he was talking third party in the beginning, possibly, I was thinking this guy's a ringer for the Clintons. Then he said no, he's not going to go third party. He signed an agreement. Now he's saying the Republicans are going to do this and do that, and he's going to, that wasn't a deal. And I was thinking, oh, you yo-yo. You're playing a Ross Perot. You're pushing Clinton in. Because he's always been buddy-buddy with Bill. So I'm going to tell you that if Hillary Clinton, the Wicked Witch of the West, gets in office, this kid here on this channel is going to be saying a lot more nice things about Vlad, even though I know Vlad is not Mr. Santa Claus and a saint. I know what he's about. guys, but I'll be playing the part of Berlusconi, but without the 15-year-old girls, okay? I'll be playing the Italian guy over here, his buddy. So I'll be playing a part a little more for Vlad on this channel if I see Hillary come in, because I got to take the one that's a hell of a lot less communistic than Hillary, which would be Vlad. Okay? So anyway, I'll change my tune on this shit. That bitch gets in. And I know she doesn't represent American women, because she represents women that stick her head between the crack of Huma and Aberdeen's legs. That's what she really is. She's a really wacko. And that's going to be that Huma, whatever her name is, Aberdeen. She's going to be moving in the White House in an adjoining bedroom and sleeping with Hillary. And that'll be the main co-president, Muslim Brotherhood co-president. But I can see this is happening. And, maybe that Deagle.com forecast on their website, when they talk about the military forecasters, Deagle.com, when they talk about the U.S. population going from 313 million to 64.9 million, and the GDP going to a tenth, and the military spending going to a tenth by 2025. Well, maybe somewhat of that. Maybe that'll be somewhat true, because I can see Hillary would really be the end. But she doesn't represent American women in the least, and we don't need ISIS over here. We don't need Muslim Brotherhood. We don't need Sharia law and all that other garbage. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple other things about the economy. You saw that freaking chart with the retail sector going down, so you're saying, well, how come the GDP is doing good? Well, part of the GDP is also in the banking sector, which is a bunch of bullshit anyway. That's actually where the 1 basis point or 1% of 1% make the most money. They're usually attached to the banking and finance sector. Another part is the pharmaceutical industry. Maybe the healthcare is not doing so good, but the pharmaceutical industry is doing fine. They'll be selling their drugs one way or the other. And the other thing is, real estate's selling good in houses, but not amongst people that are like mom and pop type things, or families and small families. Blackstone Group actually is the largest holder of real estate in the world now. I think they tripled their earnings in the last several years or something like that. They're the largest real estate portfolio holder of real estate. What's going on is the big corporations are buying up all the real estate and renting back the land to the people at high exorbitant rates. So, that's a major problem right there. The other thing is, a bright spot in the economy, I can tell you this, is automotive sales for 2015. November 2015 is going to be probably the all-time record high for automotive sales, but that's hot on the heels of 2014, which is like at a real bad low. In 2014, the average age of an owned automobile in the United States was 11 years old, and people were hanging on to their cars. So now they're finally, you know, with the lower price of gas and they have a little more money to spend, they can afford car payments. So they made it easier with credit to buy cars. But then I'm thinking to myself, you know, maybe they got great sales this year, but everybody's buying them on credit because they got a little more disposable income because of lower gas prices. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if the gas prices go way the hell up all of a sudden by next year and they got these payments for the next 5 years, you know what's going to happen with that shit. To me, I say stick with a 32 Highboy, you know, Ford, you know, with a flathead V8 or something like that. And hell with the bullshit high-tech garbage. So anyway, or Vespa, like old girl here, man, with the flip-flops, right? That's the way to go travel, man, except if it's wintertime. But if it's wintertime, you could be hauling around one of these two wheels on shed thing, you know, with the sun lamp in it and stuff like that, and a sidecar. And that could be a Euro motorcycle, one of them Russian-made copies of the German jobber with the two-wheel drive. Put some chains on it. You got to go through the winter and stuff. You'll be no problem, right? But I'm telling you right now that silver, I think, is going to go way back up. I know we've been saying that due to conflict. But, you know, when's the conflict going to occur? But it looks like the conflict is heating up for something even worse. I'm thinking World War III, for crying out loud. Even though, you know, that's one of those things I don't like saying because it's like one of those fear-monger deals. But, you know, I'm looking at what happened with Fatima, what was said with Fatima. I know there's people out there telling me this, that, and you can argue this shit for 800 days on end. But Fatima basically says that Russia would be the instrument. Specifically, Russia would be the instrument that would chastise mankind for its sins. And you know, we got all kinds of weird sins going on, you know, according to the traditional family values, you know, Planned Parenthood and all that other stuff. You know, Obama was like, what was he said? This is not normal. I'm thinking to myself, you know, about the guy, the shooter with the Planned Parenthood, and I'm thinking, well, now it's safe to go back and killing babies and selling baby parts, Obama. You're yo-yo, man. So, you know, we got a whole inverted morality over here, man, you know. All kinds of stuff. I mean, the Fruit Loop colored light White House, and everything, man. Nobody would have believed this shit. You know, if I would have told people the way things are today, 15 years ago even, they would have never believed it. So I'm telling you that, well, what I think is going to happen is there's going to be a major whittling down of human race. And, I don't know if the elite really will survive and all their plans will survive. I'm not even sure about that deal. But I can tell you this. You know, a lot of times when you have less, sometimes you have more. Now, me personally, that's not going to be my situation, but, I try to keep it simple. You know, I'm not a person that likes to play like, you know, I could spend this much money and look what I got. That's how you lose money. But, you know, I realized that even if a person had less, a lot of times they can be happier as long as you have the essentials, which is food, clothing, and shelter, or maybe food, firepower, and fuel, because you want to get around. But, you know, say, for instance, you even had a motorcycle and a cabin someplace or whatever the hell it is, and you had good health, especially good health. Hey, you know, you could survive. I try to put out a lot of products on this video on this channel that I think are practical besides just silver. I think silver is a very practical thing to hoard, but don't put all your money in it. You know, I put a video out on the S-Wing American-made hatchet hammer, right, which is great because the handle never breaks. I had one of those S-Wing hammers from the 40s or 50s or some crap my great-uncle had. Still good. Made in the USA. The kerosene perfection heater. 100 years old, still goes, still good. And what the hell else? The Bedini battery chargers, that restores batteries. It restored my $150 electric razor. That was at discount prices. And, you know, so I'm like, you know, it was a few $100, but it saved me a lot of money. So, anyway. So, let me put it this way. You know, you can spend money sometimes for practical things that'll last you a long time. And actually, I'm encouraging people to possibly even, like, if they do this Christmas shopping, Black Friday shopping, and they're buying gifts for people, that they buy more practical things that they can use for the long term. Because, like, you know, I put the video out on a tire changer and a tire balancer, and I've used the hell out of those things like that. So, I mean, you don't necessarily always have to invest in silver, but I do think silver, like we all know what happens with commodities. Commodities are the thing that actually this cat is going to jump over here and screw me up. But anyway, go ahead, jump, cat. See if the microphone handles. There, it did. It's all right. But that was Goldie. So anyway, you wonder when a microphone goes scratchy sometimes on this on my videos. It's that cat. I blame the cat. Anyway, so we got another mic, but they still freaking, I don't know. But anyway, the thing is, the deal is with you got to make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Commodities, even when they're going up, I swear to God, I was getting killed by people saying when I was telling them, commodities are high risk, high reward, and I was saying that back when they were going up. And people were screaming at me, what are you going to do? Put your money in fiat? Ugh. And that was back in 2011, when silver was busting through 40. It looked like it was going to bust through like 500, and they were telling people that shit. And, I know, I didn't know it was going to go where it was going to go. I figured it was going to go through 50, right? I didn't. I didn't think it was going to go as low either. But, that's why they call it the devil's metal. It goes up and down really radically. Nobody can really predict it. I'm not telling you, to bet all your money on silver, and I'm not telling you to trade silver futures or anything like that. But I'm telling you, it's a good idea to stash silver and have a hoard part of your money into it. It's been money forever, and it's got value forever. Certain things could have value forever, but then again, other things don't store as well. You can have paintings that can have value forever. You can have even antique furniture that can have value forever. Antique other products that can have value forever. I don't know what other things can be out there, but the reason they have gold and silver that's been around a long time because it's more portable and it doesn't degrade like these other things can possibly do. Like you could have a painting or stained glass or something like that, and it can be worth a lot of money. And freaking something happens to it, it's not worth shit, right? Okay, that's why the practicality of gold and silver has always been here. Classic motorcycles go up and down a lot too. I mean, at one point in time, these, this is not a Harley, so what is it, a Triumph or some shit? But even if you had a classic knuckleheads were given away for like $5 back in the '60s. Now they're big bucks now, right? And then they're probably going to go down a real lot again, right? There's a lot of things like that. So, you don't put all your money into one area. That's one thing. That's number one rule. And, I was getting hammered a lot when I was telling people not to put all their money into silver, even when it was going up a lot. But I can tell you this. When next time it goes up a lot, that's when everybody's going to be putting all their money into silver. I'm not going to be dumping it. Not all of it. But it's going to go into real estate. Probably a lot of it into real estate. And I can tell you one thing, too. I'm a very practical-minded person. I'll put money into a welder. The Power Zapper devices, the Spooky 2 devices for health, herbs and natural vitamins and things like that, too. Because I realize that health is actually the most number one thing. Because I'll give you an example now. One person who just died is Maurice Strong. He's been the big-time communist environmentalist guy that was pro-China and all this kind of garbage, and working with Nancy Pelosi and Gorbachev with the Gorbachev USA Environmental Foundation, all that kind of. He just died at age 86. Just I don't know, yesterday, the day before, or something like that. Well, you know the deal. Possibly we can live a lot past 86. That's what I'm thinking. Soros, you could drop dead tomorrow for all I know, and he'll be a memory. And he'll be joining Maurice Strong wherever the hell he is in the afterlife, probably shoveling coal for the devil. I don't know what he's going to be doing, but I can tell you, man. It's like sometimes the simpler things in life are actually make you happy. So, if you don't have, the resources right now, and you're thinking, oh shit, the things are going bad or whatever, I can tell you a lot of times people have traded. Going out on the road or going out on a sailboat or going for hike the Appalachian Trail or bicycle across the USA or motorcycle across the world or something like that. And they used to be some kind of highfalutin stockbroker in Wall Street or some kind of CEO, and they said, the hell with it, and they just got away from everything. So, it's all a matter of attitude, but you got to make sure you got the essentials. And silver is like an investment, but it's not essential to survival. You know, you'd be better off if you had a ranch with food, tools, tractors, um, diesel engines that run on vegetable oil and stuff like that, solar panels, and all that garbage, and having a whole pile of silver be in the middle of a major city or something when there's a major problem that's going to happen. So anyway, I'm just going to tell you, again, that the economy's going down a lot because of the Baltic Dry Index. I think I mentioned that. The Baltic Dry Index is the all the shipping of goods that's going on in the world. It's the lowest it's ever been. Chinese utility companies are laying off hundreds of thousands of people, which is saying not only is their real estate market looking bad, but their industrial market's looking bad. The Obama administration is actually putting the brakes on the industry in the United States by slamming the shit out of the industry in the United States with, environmental protectionist laws and stuff. Where at the same time, they're giving all kinds of excuses for China and India because they're saying they need to bring their economies up. So you can see that's a plan in the New World Order all the way. So anyway, then you have Vlad over here. But I'm going to tell you, Vlad is going to be the thing that's actually going to bring our silver up and gold up a lot and oil because when he hammers the shit out of ISIS over there, I don't know what's going to happen with NATO, what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some kind of response or something because, it's pretty damn obvious that, and it's not even politically correct for me to say this on YouTube because I realize YouTube is Google and Google is the government, right? But it's obvious that somehow the Western elite are behind this ISIS or some shit. I don't know what the deal is, though. I don't understand it. I don't understand what the hell they're doing exactly. I don't know what the ultimate plan is. But obviously, Vlad is like, screw them. It's just they down one of his planes. The Turks did because he was hammering freaking ISIS. It's just going to escalate. And I just think we're going into a major war situation. It may be legit for me to say this, and I would trust anything. The only thing I would really trust for a barometer for predicting the future off as something that was like a religious thing would be that message from Fatima. They did say that Russia. She did say that Russia would be the instrument that would chastise mankind for its sins. If Russia was not specifically consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And according to, depends on who you talk to, because I read extensively on this, and I don't want to talk about it for 5 million years. But actually, the world was consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, not Russia specifically, because they didn't want to offend the Orthodox Church over there. And they said that would provide some benefits, but it's not what they really wanted, or not what the Lord wanted per Mary. So anyway, usually what happens is when you got a major slump that's been going on for a long time, we've actually been in a recession more or less for the last 15 years, whether you say we haven't or not, because the only place that's been looking good has been the stock market, and I think that's all due to manipulation, and that could come down overnight. That can come down overnight. It looked like it was coming down a lot in September and October, and then all of a sudden, no, yeah, but I don't know. I got doubts about that whole deal. I wouldn't trust it for nothing. But, it's almost like counterintuitive. When you look at an asset that's been going down, you don't want to buy it, and because you see the curve going down, right? But what happens is when you see the curve going up, and after it's gone up, that's when everybody's going to jump aboard and buy it. Well, those will be your buyers if you're one of the smart ones and you bought it now. And I just want to leave you with this thought. This kid is not going to be freaking ever playing some game where a PayPal button or a link to some stuff where I get money for something, or charging you money for subscriber service or any of that bullshit. I know I had some yo-yo from Canada. Not that I'm knocking Canada, because I have great respect for Canadians, but not this one guy. He charges $350 a year for silver trading service. He's not even a Series 6, Series 7. He's not any kind of financial guy. And he just tells everybody, he says everybody else is a shill. And he came on my channel and said I was this, that, and my views are going down. My views aren't going down, they're going up. But I can tell you this, though. It's harder and harder to make money on YouTube because people are looking to make um, get paid subscriber things and all this kind of shit because it's tougher and tougher to make money on YouTube. But what I do is I would just work harder. That's all. You know, they can't stop me, man. I'm the Energizer Bunny, man. I can freaking work I work my ass off doing all kinds of shit. Plus, I work at the CPA firm, and it does have, that firm is connected to a boutique investment house for high-end clients. So I hear a lot of stuff, but I can't tell you what the hell is going to happen with this price of silver. I know that the basic principles always stay in place. When you have major uncertainty in a world, major tension, political tensions, usually what happens is oil goes up, then gold goes up. You have uncertainty in the markets. Yeah, the dollar goes up, the currencies go up, but then gold goes up. Right now, I think the gold and stuff, actually, in our currency, in U.S. dollar, the metals look a lot worse because of the dollar index is at 100. But I can tell you that it's been going up the last few years. It went down a little bit the last couple months, but then it went up again because of flight from the markets. But over the last 30 years, the dollar still is in a long-term downtrend. So do expect that, when things unravel here, the silver and gold will hit new heights. They will hit new heights. Russia's going to double their holdings in it and stuff, and they're not stupid. They're not doing that for nothing. So anyway, I did not really want to put this out as, I'm going to really probably title this, I think, the silver in World War III is looming or something like that. But I'm not doing this as a fear thing. I'm doing this as a sincere thing. I think it really is true. When you have an economy that's that bad throughout the world, it usually does lead to war. There's absolutely no way you're using negative interest rates, keeping your money in a bank in European Union. They're thinking about doing it here. They got no way to stimulate the economy, and it usually just leads to war, trade wars, and them trying to everybody. It's trade wars. People each trying to boost their exports, and everybody's trying to keep on top and trying to stay above water. It leads to real wars, and real wars lead to an explosion in commodity prices, oil prices, and gold because of fear. But shiny silver coins is not the be-all answer of tense times. And like I said, it's food, fire, power, and fuel, and food, clothing, and health, and shelter, and good health especially. Yeah, I would also say, I'm going to tell you this. I like this product, the Power Zapper, but I believe that product's very good because it's like cheap and you don't have to keep buying something. You just have a rechargeable battery and you keep using it. But even if you got something like the Power Zapper 6-pack, and I don't get paid to say this or nothing like that. I'm not like a marketer. I got several of these devices. I like them. I use them every day for about 8 hours a day. Feel really good. I don't know if it's close to that shit or something else or whatever. I just feel good. I looked at the reason, rationale behind it, but health is number one. Theoretically, those zapper things supposedly help knock out microbes and help boost your immune system at the same time, which might be a good thing to have, especially if you're living in a world of bad environment, you're under more stress. I talked about the human earth frequency and the stresses we have and stuff and how it can help relieve stress. I use a lot of that, too. I mean, I feel fine. I mean, I'm not, I'm talking about World War III here a little bit coming up, and I'm not even worried about it, okay? I'm just doing my own shit. When it happens, it happens. And nothing I can do about it, But, I'm also looking at land up in Tennessee near North Carolina, or North Carolina near Tennessee, up there in the Smoky Mountains in the Cherokee National Forest as a way out of, La La Land over here in the flatlands, But anyway, just want to leave you with this thought, though, that, if the situation does go down, just make sure you're prepared not only with silver but all the other things. But don't be down on silver and thinking that it's never going to go up. Because when it goes up, it always catches everybody by surprise. And you know, not to knock anybody that's trying to make money by getting people to pay them for subscriber services, or but you know, I gotta tell you one thing: you'd be better off paying somebody, I don't know, $50 a year. That's an actual Series 6 or Series 7 with a team of people that are a brokerage house for investment advice versus some Yahoo freaking trying to charge you $350 a year and it just hates everybody. I'm like, what a bargain, man. God, man, what a bargain. I don't charge nothing, okay? I don't charge nothing, all right? I mean, I'm just telling you common sense things, and I'm not trying to scare people, but you got some shit to worry about in some ways, and you don't want to be like an ostrich sticking your head in the sand, but at the same time, you don't want to be a worrywart in constant fear. So heads up, heads up. Tumultuous times are coming, no doubt about it. But we're going to ride free through tumultuous times as long as we're prepared. That's the whole 9 yards in a nutshell. Stay prepared. And part of that preparation is those shiny silver coins.